I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited. It's going to be pretty awesome to see. I don't, look. The thing is I haven't been given Farley enough credit. Outside perspective, being from a GM standpoint and watching Ford as to what they're doing, MSRPs are skyrocketing. They're screwing everybody. Everybody's tired of it. Companies are noticing, and we all know it was the EV market and cafe standards raising expectations to unachievable, yeah, demands. It's just crazy. So the thing is I think out of all three, well, I'm just gonna say between GM and Ford, Mopar or Dodge is just doing its own thing. It's just one way. One day they're this way, the next day they're that way. I don't think they don't have a firm footing as to far as to what they're quite doing yet. So I think that I'm going to exclude them for now until I see them actually come to the table and playing ball a little bit. So between GM and Ford, I think Ford's doing a much better job than GM. Are they perfect? Hell no. The Ford Lightning was a disaster. I think that they're canceling it. I think that they're scrapping it, getting rid of it. They need to. It's kind of stupid, but Ford Authority came out. They dropped the ball. They didn't drop the ball. They dropped an article. I'm sorry. I'll rephrase that. They dropped an article. Boom. We're going to be restructuring. We're going to change the trucks and the Bronco up. But they came out, and here's the thing that I respect the guy the most on is whenever Farley has an interview, he takes the question head on. He'll give you a direct answer. Yes, no, and then my explanation as to why that yes, no makes sense. I can appreciate that. When it comes to GM, dude, you don't know. You don't know. You don't know if it's the first time I saw a maple tree and it made me feel the way I did when I was 12 years old. I appreciate the question. 5 minutes later, you conclude a story and somehow it's like a big riddle as to whether you got your question answered or not. And then the interview continues and it's everybody's pissed and it's like, I want my 5 minutes back of my life because this is a waste of time. Farley doesn't do that. Farley will actually answer the question, do they make the best decisions? No. No. But as far as like Ford Authority goes, here's another example as to why I kind of respect the dude. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't bring it in. Boom. He just says Ford explains why it can no longer make cars for everybody. Everybody's making these demands and they're griping and screaming and crying and screaming. And, they kind of, when you run out of money or when you're kind of hitting your last buck because, the government is just, well, we set up all these ridiculous standards. And it comes down to it's like, all right, well, I got my ass kicked and I have to start over again, or we have to be competitive in the market. Um, we're gonna have to make some big changes to bring in some revenue, and I think that's what's going on here. So, anyways, Farley in this interview, I'm not gonna go into it, but I liked it because he pretty much says, you know, they tried to keep up with the foreign competitors in like the truck space, and he says the thing is I like is their costs. They're worried about the costs. We're not competitive with Toyota, Hyundai, and Kia. Those are big names, man. Uh, Simply because of their warranty and the resale value, Toyota especially. And they've finally admitted that they're going to have to change the Broncos and the pickups. Now the F-150 is not just the exclusive pickup only because they got the Maverick, just like GM has a Colorado. Depending on when I release it, I don't know. I'm editing. I just shoot everything and then I edit everything. So whenever I decide to release it, I made a video on K cars a couple days or a day ago. And pretty much here's the thing: every news interview I read and these people talk, or these economists suspect, BYD is coming and they make super cheap cars. And I didn't want to say that in the K car video simply because I didn't want people to think that that's the only takeaway. It could be a very good standpoint as far as defending and keeping BYD out, or just being a BYD competitor at all, because everyone's saying that these electric cars, I've done zero research on them because I do not care. 110%, whatever bone in your body that makes you care about the electric EV crap, I wasn't born with. I don't care about them. So therefore, I'm doing no homework. I'm just going by hearsay. I read an article, I hear a video. That's what I'm saying, but I'm being transparent. They say that BYD is coming whether we like it or not. They're one way or another, they're going to find their way into a market. In every market, to every country which I see them coming into, they just come in and smash everything and dominate. Simply because even at a USD conversion, you can buy a car for like 8-9 grand. So, do I think K cars can compete with EVs? No. Do I think that, as far as like a full size, full amenity EV, a K car? No. But I do think K cars are a springboard or a starting point, a launch point to that change in the market. I think the days where we're making ridiculously optioned out SUVs, because if you go look, and I'll just bring it in here. This is Chevrolet's build and price. Anybody can go on it. www.chevrolet.com. If you look, build and buy, it's all, well, this is the EV section. EV, everything. If you look at it, everything's a common denominator. There's no cars. Everything's an SUV or crossover. And if you go to the performance section, boom, that's all they got. Corvette. That's it. That's all we're down to. Got all kinds of flavors of Corvette. You've got LT2 Corvette. You've got a naturally aspirated flat plane Corvette, and then you've got a boosted flat plane, and then you got a hybrid boosted flat plane. I think we're Corvette the hell out. And then you got your vans, which absolutely, I don't know, there's probably like 4 people that care about them. Bring them back in here. Let's just hope and pray they do not get rid of the F-150 or change the F-150 too much. I'm going to go back into the comments here, and they are kind of dogging them a little bit. It says, not even as bad as the Lightning, or should we rename it the Farley? That one, look, the Lightning, you guys are going to have to eat that one. The Lightning was a bad idea. The EV truck, I get it. Everybody was under the scare that, we were going to be forced into this market. And, these big companies have to think a decade out. You know what I mean? So if you're making moves, or you're going to be remarketing or rebranding or restructuring, you have to think at least 10 years out. And that's extremely hard to do. I don't blame them, GM or Ford, for doing the things that they did. But the thing is when you see the boat starting to turn around, you don't just spearhead after what everybody doesn't want because you've already invested in. I mean, the thing, it's a mess. It's a mess. We called it a couple years ago in our live streams. We're going to be the ones that have to freaking dig us out of this. And I hope and pray that everything, the worst of it's behind us. From an enthusiast standpoint, I really don't hope that they change the F-150, especially the single cab. The single cab market is getting nuts. If you've noticed, there's video after video after video. That Coyote, that Gen 4 Coyote, there's minor incremental changes. I know that there's changes in the head. Head Games released a video showing kind of the difference between the Gen 3, Gen 4 head and the Coyote. The way the air's manipulated through the head's not changed, but I like the way that they separated the bracing inside the head, or you know what I mean. If you had to do some maintenance or do some work, I liked it the way they made it a little bit more tuner user friendly. There's minor things. The split intake, as far as emissions goes, that's pretty cool. I think shops are coming along as far as cracking the encryption on the ECM. I did do some homework and I found out that whatever they're using an aftermarket manufacturer like Tremec for the transmission, the Corvette, that's a Tremec thing. That's not a GM thing. So if you want the tunability or the access to manipulate and tune the Z06 or C8 Corvette in general, that's going to come from Tremec. Because I know a lot of people are just like, they see the name on the grill, they spearhead after the company, and all of a sudden they're the Antichrist, they're the devil. Kill the tech. The iPad on the dash, don't really need it. The GPS shit, buy. As far as all the amenities and everything, I'm down for a basic truck. Power steering, whether it's electric or hydraulic. I prefer hydraulic, but whatever. Electric windows, cruise, all the standard stuff. Other than that, no. Get rid of it. I would rather save the money off the MSRP. Ford, if you're listening, I'm sure there's a lot of people that think just like me. I think Ford's doing an awesome job. Farley, I'm giving him some credit. Maybe there's some things that I'm missing. I read the comments and they did kind of blast the board. I don't know. Ford guys, chime in here. Sound off. Tell me, am I missing something? Did I hit it right? But I like what we're seeing. I think that there's going to be changes coming in the car market that is going to be beneficial to the buyer. So sock some money away, guys. Get ready for your deposits. Like it. Subscribe. I really appreciate you guys. I'm going to catch you on the next one. See ya.